Okay, we're going to be talking about system analogies. That means you're going to take one analogy for 3 to 4 different organelles. One big system, like the human body system for organs, or a castle and the castle parts. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. This is all you're going to do in your notebook in practice to be ready to add it back to your cell packet. So you're going to use 3 or 4 parts of the same analogy. One main system, like human body systems or the castle, to describe the different parts of the system, the different organelles and how they're like the different parts of your system. Okay? And you're going to order them from first, then finally. What's the first most important part? It doesn't really matter where you start, but I'm going to show you as a lot of them starting in the nucleus, but it's up to you. Okay, but you need 3 key organelles, 3 of the 7 we've talked about, that you're going to describe. So let's see what that's like. 1, the analogy of a cell versus the castle. You would say first, the nucleus as the keep. The keep is where the king and queen stay, right? Because that's where the directions come from. That's where the orders come from. So first, orders come from the nucleus or from the keep. Next, those orders are given to the cell membrane or the walls and the gatehouse, the things guarding the entry to the castle or the entry to the cell. See how they're like each other, right? The orders say who can come in, a selective entry, and who gets kept out. That's how the cell membrane is like the walls. Then, whoever gets left in, things get brought to the mitochondria, or the bakery in the kitchen, because that's where the energy is made. The fire is the energy, and energy is fuel, right, to fuel all the parts of the system. Okay, so in this case, then the mitochondria is the powerhouse, which is the bakery or kitchen of the castle, where all supplies are brought in and energy is released. Okay? Finally, that energy is given to all the different parts of the cell, and they can move throughout the cytoplasm or move throughout the courtyard and do what they need to do to protect the cell and build it. Okay? That's one analogy, is a castle. Another analogy we've been pretty familiar with is the cell as a human body. Okay? The nucleus is the brain. So you would say first, the nucleus of the cell or the brain gives directions to the body. One of the directions it gives then is to the cell membrane. It acts as a protective barrier, just like that wall of the castle. It lets some things in, right? But keeps a lot of things out and protects the body. That's the cell membrane. The mitochondria is the digestive system. Really, it would be the respiratory and digestive system, right? But that's where the stuff that gets taken in through the openings in the skin. The mouth is a selective opening in the skin, right? You open up, let selective things into the mitochondria, the digestive system, and it releases that energy and moves it throughout the whole place, the whole system, so that it can work and protect and build the cell. The cytoplasm is like the tissues, providing the support and connection for all parts. Okay, that's another analogy. Or it can be the cell as a soccer stadium. You really can take it to any system as long as you can pick 3 important organelles that we've studied and how they're like to that system, like the organelle is to the cell. In the soccer stadium, it could be the cell wall or the exterior walls, right? They not only protect, but they give structure. They give shape to the cell. They give shape and structure to the stadium. So first, the cell wall is like the stadium exterior walls because they keep a hard boundary. They give shape and define the whole soccer stadium or the whole arena or the whole cell. That's why it's like it. That's first, the cell wall. Next, the cell membrane is like the turnstiles, right? The cell membrane is inside where they let certain things into the players certainly go through different channels than the people who are watching it, and the head coaches and the refs, right? The membrane is like the security turnstiles, where each individual people coming in go in here. The cell membrane acts the same way. It lets certain molecules in and out depending on where they need to go. The nucleus is like the head coach, or probably both coaches, right? They're instructing all the parts where to go. The pitch and the stands represents the cytoplasm. This is the whole arena and where things move and play. Okay? That's one. Or like a school building. Again, first, the gates outside are like the cell wall. They protect and give boundaries to where the school system is. The front doors are like the membrane. They let certain people in and out. And keep people out and let certain people in. The nucleus is the principal's office. He or she is directing everything in the school. Okay. The hallways and classrooms represent the cytoplasm. Hopefully these examples are giving you enough that you can use one of these to put in your own words, or you can make your own. Yep, the cell is a Fortnite match. The cell wall could be the storm boundary, the outer limit that keeps everything contained and defines the field of play. It gives structure to where the play is happening. The membrane is like the vault key cord. It controls access, allowing specific players or materials to enter and exit, right? It's protecting that play space. Only certain people are coming in and out of there. Okay? And the nucleus is the player, you. You're the decision maker controlling the actions of what goes in and what goes out. The island map represents the cytoplasm, where all of the things that you're doing in the game take place. You could take this probably for any video game. So in your notebook, you're going to open practice 20.5, and you are going to put this in your notebook. Okay. There are graphic organizers there where you're going to create your analogy. Again, you can use one of these. You just can't use my exact words. You need to put it in your own words. Or you might change up one of the organelles. Or you can come up with your own system to compare it to. That's what you're going to do to plan, so you'll be ready to put it into the last page of the cell mastery check packet. Okay? Good luck. Have fun.